In the lands shaped by Eru Iluvatar and marred by the discord of Morgoth, not every spirit passes quietly into the halls of Mandos. Some linger, cursed, tormented, twisted beyond death. From spectral kings who betrayed their oaths, to dark wraiths enslaved by rings of power, and tomb-dwelling spirits animated by sorcery, Middle-earth is haunted. This is not just a realm of elves and hobbits, but also of ghosts, cursed men, and beings condemned to an eternal, shadowed existence. Today, we open the tomb. We explore the undead of Middle-earth, ghosts, wraiths, and ancient curses, a realm as eerie as it is forgotten. And believe me, some of this lore runs deeper and darker than you think. The most infamous of Middle-earth's undead are the Oathbreakers, also known as the Dead Men of Dunharrow, cursed spirits of men who betrayed their word. During the Second Age, the men of the White Mountains swore allegiance to the realm of Gondor, but when the time came to march against Sauron, they broke their oath. Their betrayal drew the wrath of Gondor's king, Isildur, who cursed them to linger in shadow until they made amends. Isildur's response was not just wrath, it was doom. Thou shalt be the last king, and if the West prove mightier than thy black master, this curse I lay upon thee and thy folk, to be everlastingly unquiet, and to walk the earth until your oath is fulfilled. Bound by this curse, they lingered in the Dweimorberg, or Haunted Mountain, for over 3,000 years. Neither dead nor alive, they haunted the paths of the dead, feared by all who lived. Not even the Witch King, Lord of the Nazgul, dared enter their domain. Only when Aragorn, the heir of Isildur, summoned them during the War of the Ring, did they fulfill their oath, crushing the corsairs of Umbar at Pelargir. Their curse lifted, they vanished at last into peace. But their legend remained. They are not merely spooky apparitions, they are the symbol of broken oaths, lingering guilt, and the terrible power of cursed honor. Just east of the Shire lie the Barrow Downs, where ancient kings and warriors were buried. But these tombs became home to something else, the Barrow Wights. These were spirits of dread, summoned and placed in the Barrows by the Witch King of Angmar during his northern campaign in the Third Age. Their purpose was corruption, to defile the resting places of old Númenórean lords and spread terror across Eriador. These undead were not remnants of the buried. They were invasive spirits, possessing the tombs and animating the bones within. Cloaked in shadow, their presence brought a bone-chilling cold. Victims would feel paralyzed, their spirits sapped. Cold be hand and heart and bone, and cold be sleep under stone. That's part of a spell one such wight used as it tried to sacrifice the hobbits to a dark ritual. Yes, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin were all nearly lost to the Wights early in the Fellowship of the Ring until Tom Bombadil intervened. Few fans realize how dangerous that moment was. The Barrow Wights may be confined to a small region, but their power, manipulated by the shadow of Angmar, reveals how deeply evil can embed itself into the very earth. They aren't just undead, they're perverted anchors of sorcery, desecrating history and weaponizing memory. Perhaps the most recognizable undead in all of Tolkien's legendarium are the Nazgul, or Ring Wraiths, the dreaded Black Riders. They were once mortal men, great lords and kings, who were gifted rings of power by Sauron during the Second Age. These rings granted them long life and unseen influence, but at a terrible cost. The rings were a trap. Slowly their bodies faded, their names were forgotten, their wills were consumed. They became wraiths, invisible and bound to the One Ring, and to Sauron himself. They are neither living nor dead. They will never stop. They are fear incarnate. Their presence is enough to cause despair. Horses panic, men flee. And when Frodo puts on the ring, he sees their true forms. Ancient crowned beings, skeletal and sorrowful. Only one of the nine has a known name, Khamûl the Easterling, second to the Witch King. He ruled Dol Guldur in Sauron's absence. The others remain nameless, emblems of anonymity, having lost their very selves. But here's a chilling twist. The Nazgul were not truly immortal. Their existence was sustained by the rings and by Sauron's power. With the One Ring destroyed, they were finally unmade, not simply defeated. They are the ultimate cautionary tale of power taken, identities lost, and life stretched so thin it becomes unlife. Tolkien didn't write many traditional ghosts, but when he did, they were full of purpose and sorrow. One example is Gorlim the Unhappy, a follower of Barahir in the First Age. Gorlim was captured by Sauron's forces and deceived. He was promised the life of his wife if he revealed Barahir's location. He spoke and was betrayed. His wife was already dead, and Gorlim was executed. But Gorlim's tale didn't end there. His spirit returned to Beren, Barahir's son, and revealed the treachery, guiding him to safety and revenge. This rare ghost story isn't about vengeance or haunting. It's about redemption. Gorlim couldn't rest until he warned Beren. After that, he faded, his mission fulfilled. His ghost is a reminder that the spiritual rules of Tolkien's world aren't rigid. Under great emotional strain or injustice, even mortal souls can return briefly, though never without cost. To understand why the undead are so terrifying in Middle-earth, you have to understand death itself. Elves, being immortal, are bound to the world. When they die, they go to the halls of Mandos in Valinor and may be reincarnated. Men, however, are given the gift of men, a mortality that takes their souls beyond the world, to a fate even the Valar do not fully know. It is both gift and mystery. When a man refuses death, when he clings to the world through sorcery, curses, or dark bargains, he becomes a distortion, an affront to Eru's plan. That's why the undead in Tolkien's world feel so wrong. The Nazgul, the Oathbreakers, the Barrow-wights, they are symptoms of a spiritual imbalance. Each of them tried in some way to deny the final rest, and they paid the price. Tolkien wrote in his letters, "The wraiths represent a will to live beyond death by external means, and thus a denial of the gift." And there it is, the essence of it all. Undeath in Middle-earth is never a neutral force. It is always born from pride, fear, betrayal, or the lust for power, and in every case, it leaves a scar on the land and on the soul. So what have we uncovered? The Oathbreakers, cursed by broken honor, bound to the earth until the arrival of a true king. The Barrow-wights, spiritual invaders who defile sacred resting places and ensnare the living. The Ring-wraiths, once proud kings, now hollowed out by greed and shadow. And the rare, sorrowful ghosts like Gorlim, who return not to haunt, but to atone. The undead of Middle-earth are not mere monsters. They are echoes of the past, voices from an age of betrayal, of cursed power, and of broken promises. They walk not to destroy, but because they cannot let go. In Tolkien's world, death is not the enemy, it is a doorway, but those who refuse to pass through it become shadows, trapped, twisted, forgotten. So, the next time you pass an old hill or a silent tomb in Middle-earth, ask yourself, who still walks there under moonlight, bound by oath or by ring? Because in this world, the dead do not always sleep. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the next age.